Hey folks, this is Brandon here with Southern Style Barns and Metal Roofing. Hey, let's jump right in. Hey, our first subject today is going to be about our steel trusses. Folks, we believe our steel trusses are the best in the country. And let me explain to you a little bit how we come around and decided to get into the truss business and why we think that they're the best in the country. For years, I was out in the field and was building buildings all over. And, I bought trusses from different suppliers here, there, and, I kept having the same problems. I mean, we'd get out in the field, none of the bolt holes would line up. Some of the bolt holes wasn't even there. Our purling cups would be knocked off. I mean, it was just, it was a nightmare. And, I fought that for years. And one day I believe I was in Georgia, and I got mad and I was just frustrated. And we needed a welder on the job site. We done went through 8 or 10 drill bits trying to drill one hole, and it was just terrible. And that day I made my mind up that I was going to find me an engineer. I was going to find me somebody that could help me build my own trusses. And you fast forward, and that's what we done. Nearly 10 years ago now, we produced our first truss. And guys, when I decided to do this, I wanted to take away all the problems that I seen as a contractor. And I really believe that's what helped us and have helped get us on the map for as the steel truss industry. It's pretty heartwarming to think that just one boy's thought could come a grown man's dream. And it's been really great. But when I set in to start building these trusses, I thought, I want all the holes to line up. I don't want the trusses falling apart. I want a good product that I would be proud myself to put up in the air and be able to hold a roof system. So, I've got to take a lot of credit toward James Lee. He was a guy that was a mentor in my life. I actually worked for him when I was a teenager. Great guy. When I went into the truss business, he had actually, right when I started, he'd actually got diagnosed with cancer. And, a year into this, James finally passed away. And I tell a lot of people when they ask, the reason that I'm in this is because of James Lee. James really helped us. And, hey, folks, when he was going through chemo, he was coming out here helping me build jigs and just get this thing going. And he said, he told me right before he passed away, son, if somebody's going to put me out of business, I would just assume it be you. And that meant a lot to me. I know that's crazy, but it meant a lot to me that he thought that much of me and my business. And so anyway, you fast forward, and our trusses, hey, you never have problems with them, folks. If you buy trusses from us, the way they come to you is, depending on the size, they'll come 3 trusses or 4 trusses a bundle. And, when you get those things home, whether you're a DIY or you're a everyday contractor, when you lay these things out, you're going to be able to put your bolts in the correct holes. Well, the only holes that's there, but the holes the holes will be lined up. All your purling cups will be welded on. All the trusses will be fully welded. You'll not have to worry about these things falling apart like I have seen through some suppliers in my neck of the woods. I have seen trusses just be nightmares, and I'm not going to get into that today, but you don't have to worry about that with our trusses. And I want to mention, folks, here at Southern Style Barns, we have over 100 years of experience building trusses. Our foreman of our truss shop alone has 42 or 45 plus years of being a lead man building trusses. And also, I want to add, every welder that works for Southern Style Barnes is a certified welder. We have a classification class every year here at Southern Style Barnes that our guys have to go to and get up on the latest greatest thing, and then they have to pass a test. And I mean, it's just, we want to bring a great product is one of the reasons that we do that. Also, I want to get into a little bit today about stamp drawings, why they're important, and why you should just always buy a truss that they will come with. Here at Southern Style Barnes, all of our trusses do have a stamped engineered drawing. That means every truss here at Southern Style Barnes is built by the drawing that our engineer give us to build us a standard to. And I'm just going to tell you, I've got one of the toughest engineers in the country that works for us and does our drawings. And I mean, he's pretty particular. And I mean, folks, we have to go by that drawing 100%. Here at Southern Style Barnes, every 3 months we have a drawing test. And what that means is we go through and we make sure the trusses are still being built to our standard and to our standard of our truss drawing every 3 months. And I don't know of anybody else that does that. Really don't care, if you won't be honest, but I want to make sure that we keep bringing the best product that we can to our contractors, our DIY folks, just so I know that you're leaving here with a good product. But let's get back to this drawing. Why is it important to have this drawing? Well, let's just say that you're building a building in your city limits, and you go down and you have to have an inspection or pull a permit. Well, when you go down to the inspection office to pull your permit, one of the things that they're going to ask you for, well, do you have a truss drawing? And if you say, no, I don't know what you're talking about, they're going to say, well, we can't give you an inspection permit until we have a truss drawing on file. Folks, I have seen even some counties wanting, when you have to pull a permit in some counties, not all of them, but I have seen some that require this. So it's states, cities, counties, whatever municipality there may be, you may have to pull a permit in whatever said county, state, city, whatever. So when you buy a truss, make sure, if you're not buying it from us, or ever who you're buying it from, make sure that your truss comes with a stamped engineered drawing. Because if not, I'm just going to be honest with you, you're going to have a terrible time. Because I'm just going to give y'all an example. A couple years ago, a guy had called us about buying trusses. He ended up not buying them. He went to a company that was a little closer to him, and I want to say this guy was 4, 5, 6 hours from us. And hey, I understand. That's a pretty good trip to come to us. So anyway, he buys his trusses. He calls us, and I happened to be in the office that day, and they sent me the phone call, and he said, hey, look, man, I talked to you, but I ended up buying my trusses somewhere else. Here in my city, I'm trying to pull a permit. I need a truss drawing. Can you send me one? I had no other answer to tell him, folks, other than, no, sir, I'm sorry, I can't do that. And you ask why? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Is because my truss drawings are for my trusses. If I send him or I'm not going to say him, I'm just going to say anybody. If they take one of my truss drawings and put it on somebody else's truss, number one reason to me is unlawful. That's against the law to use a stamped engineered drawing on another product that's not where it come from. It's against the law, and then you can get in a lot of trouble for that. But number two, I'm not going to put my name on something that I don't know. And nobody that's in this business is going to do that. That's why a legit truss company legit builders will have access to a stamped engineered truss drawing, folks. I mean, I'm just going to be honest, my opinion. If you go to buy steel trusses somewhere and they don't offer you, I mean, you may not even have it. You may live in podunk country and you don't have to have it, just like I do. I live way out in the country. Out in our county, there is no rules or regulations. You may be there in the same boat as I am in. But I would not buy a truss that wasn't backed by a stamped engineered drawing, because you don't know at the end of the day if that thing is structurally built right. I mean, you may get it out there and it fall apart. And you know what? 9 times out of 10, I'm probably going to be right. If you called those people back and there was a problem, they wouldn't answer the phone. And another reason to have that stamp drawing is for your insurance purposes. So you can also show your insurance company when you're trying to pull insurance on your new building, hey, that, because they're going to ask you about your roof system and all of this stuff. Hey, you can just hand them that drawing. They can take a copy of it, and they've got it on their files, and they know if anything happens, it's got to be catastrophic. It's not anybody's fault, because that truss was built by a engineered drawing by an engineer. So enough of that. Any questions, comments? Y'all feel free to call us so far in today. We'll be glad to answer any of your questions. And before I move on, there's one last thing. So most truss companies, I'm just going to give you all this little bit of information. Most truss companies that do offer and sell steel trusses, and maybe even in wood trusses, I don't know, because I'm not in the wood truss business, but they are not just going to pass those they're not just going to pass those engineered drawings out like pens, or like suckers or whatever. I mean, they're going to, like our business, Southern Style Barns and Metal Roofing, I mean, kind of the laws that we go by. If you buy a truss from us and you need a drawing, absolutely you get it for free. You get one drawing for free to go with your trusses. If you call us and just want a drawing, we absolutely do not sell just drawings. We only sell drawings, we don't sell them. We give them to our customers if they need them. We only give drawings to customers that have bought trusses from us. We do not sell our own drawings. Can we offer you a drawing? I mean, we can talk to our engineer and see. But one thing we do offer, and not just truss drawings, but if you're building a house or a structure and your inspection or whatever does need a engineered drawing of the building, we do offer that in-house here at Southern Style Barns. Our engineer, that's what he does every day. You can give us a call and we can do those drawings for you, depending on what it is. I mean, all of the stuff, size building, what all it is to the drawing, depends on how much that costs. That is not free. We find out what you want. Our engineer works up a price, and then we give you a price, and, that's the way that goes here at Southern Style Barns. All right, I wanted to touch a little bit today while we was talking about our trusses, a little bit about our trusses and the sizes that we carry here and we sell at Southern Style Barns. We basically, in our gable trusses, we carry from a 10-foot wide up to a 75-foot wide clear spanned steel truss, gable truss. In our side sheds, we carry from, let's say, 5-foot wide up to 30-foot wide, or long, ever how you want to say it. From 0 to 20 on our side sheds, we offer a low profile truss, which is only 12 inches wide. Now, when you go from 20 to 30, that is a regular standard width truss, which is 20 inches. So what a lot of people do, they will stay under that 20 foot or 20 foot or below, to get the low profile because it's only 12 inches wide and they can get a lot more headroom. Now, we also just recently have started offering a 40-foot long, wide, whichever way you want to say it, side shed truss, which is a pretty big deal. That's a pretty big deal. So from 0 to 40 on the side sheds, let's just say on your gable trusses, 0 to 75 foot. On your side sheds and gable trusses, we offer different pitches. There is some cost difference between when you start changing pitches, but we do offer different pitches. Our most common pitch here at Southern Style Barns is 412 on our gable trusses and 112 on our side sheds, but we can do any pitch anybody wants. It will just be a price difference in every pitch change. Also, here at Southern Style Barns on our trusses, we offer a 10-foot center truss and a 12-foot center truss. Those trusses are built completely different, and if you're interested, you can call our office and they'll be glad to tell you the difference in those trusses. I'm not going to get into that today, but we do offer that. You can put these trusses on 10 or 12-foot centers. I mean, pretty big deal. All right. So since we're talking about trusses, I'm going to keep y'all just a few more minutes, and we're going to talk about when buildings change widths and when buildings change heights, what post that you need to use to make that change. So here at Southern Style Barns, anything, when it gets, I went ahead of myself there a little bit, when it gets to be 40 foot wide and you get past 16 foot tall, we use a 8x8 post. Anything 40 foot wide, below, excuse me, my eyes itching, but anything below 16 foot tall, 40 foot wide, we use a 6x6 post. All of our applications here at Southern Style Barns, no matter the size of the building, unless it's a post change like I'm telling you now, the least size post we use is a 6x6. I don't recommend 4x6s, and I sure don't recommend 4x4s. 6x6 post is the way to go. But when here at Southern Style Barns, when we get to 16 foot tall sidewalls on a 40 foot truss, we go up to an 8x8 post. Just like when we were putting up a 60 foot wide building, no matter the height, if it's 10 foot, 8 foot, 20 foot, we use a 8x8 post. And the reason we do this, folks, is little country boy explain. I'm going to explain it to you like a country boy if I can get it spit out here. So basically, when you take, this is my opinion. I mean, I've been building buildings now for 27 years, I guess. So this is my opinion. When you get a building, a 40 foot wide building, let's just say 20 foot tall, and you put it on a 6x6, your load of the truss and your roof, the wind, I mean, there's a lot of factors can just make that thing come tumbling down because the post is not big enough to hold it unless you do a lot of excess bracing. There's no sense of that. I mean, it's going to cost you more money. Just use an 8x8 post and you know that your building's going to be there to stand the test of time. My opinion. So basically what this is, and my little example here, is it's basically like putting a 40 foot truss on a 4x4 at 10 foot tall. That is no good. Do not ever use 4x4s to put a 40 foot building on. Absolutely not. Don't ever do that. I don't care who tells you it's a good idea. It's not a good idea. So anyway, folks, when you get up to a 40 foot wide building, just think to yourselves, you want it good, you want it to last forever, at least your lifetime. You know, let's just go ahead and if we're going to build us a hay shed that's 40 by 60 by 18 foot tall, just go ahead and put you some 8x8s in the ground and use them for your post, because it's going to be a lot less trouble. You're going to have a lot better building and you'll be happy. And on a 60 foot building, this is my opinion, and I'm going to stick by it from now and forever, never put a 60-foot wide truss on 6x6 post. Always put them on 8x8 post. If not, I wouldn't guarantee that building to walk away from it, or just turn my back away from it if you want to know the truth. Always put that a 60-foot truss on an 8x8 post, and you'll never have any problems. Hey folks, I hope I give y'all a little bit of information today. I hope I shared a little sense and a little common sense, if you want to know what I'm thinking, about just general information about how our trusses are put together, why we went in and decided to bring a product that we're so proud of, and maybe on your post sizes, folks, I give y'all a little bit of instruction and give you a little bit of advice there today. And folks, hey, look, I mean, and I'm going to leave here with this. We are going to bring several more informational videos like this to everybody for the next couple of weeks. And then hopefully when weather breaks and we start getting into springtime, I'm going to start carrying us out in the field, and I'm going to show y'all different things that goes on, and we're going to have a lot of fun. And I just want everybody to know that we're not always going to talk about barns. I've got a pretty good idea for our next video that we're going to talk about, and some things that me and my family are into that I want to share. And I mean, we're just going to have a lot of fun with this. But hey guys, remember, I'm new to YouTube. I'm new to doing these videos. If y'all would like to see something, comment, call our office, give us some ideas on what y'all would like to see, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, don't guess, call the best. Southern Style Barns. Catch y'all next time.